Great. Now, let's do a really quick holiday recap of 2020. This is where the magic comes in. We got to know what worked, what didn't work back then. And we're just going to do a really quick, brief primer on what was going on last year, right? Well, we all know COVID was last year, so it's still going on now. But COVID was last year. It definitely disrupted a lot in the brick and mortar business. And it all came to a head within e-commerce. Everyone started going to e-commerce. So no surprise that is one of the best seasons ever. Like we said before, 20% of all online holiday sales happen during these 5 days of the year. I'm just going to repeat some of the highlights. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, e-commerce sales jumped 22%. Small Business Saturday jumped 17%. You can see the numbers right there on the right. Thanksgiving made $5 billion, Black Friday, $9 billion. Small Business Saturday, 4.6, Sunday, 4.7, Cyber Monday, 10 mil. All that during 5 days. But here's some other notes to take note of. Consumers actually shopped earlier, right? Analysts were projecting that Black Friday and Cyber Monday would be even bigger last year in 2020, but they weren't. They weren't as big as they thought, right? They were estimating about 40% growth in revenue, but it actually ended up coming out at 22% or 21% growth. Why? Because consumers shopped earlier in the season. So that's why you see a lot of early Black Friday and Black Friday sneak peeks and Black Friday early access. All these doorbusters and offers came in earlier in the week, in some cases earlier in the month. So that's why Tuesday last year, Tuesday before Black Friday, saw 72% growth in revenue and sales. And Wednesday saw a 48% growth in sales year over year. So consumers were shopping earlier. Curbside pickup demand also grew from 6.9%, where historically it was like, oh, I'm going to buy it and maybe pick it up online, pick it up in store or pick it up by curbside. It was about hovering around 7% of total sales. This year, in 2020, it was 43%. So no surprise with COVID, a lot of people were like, I'm not going to go to the store. I can't shop in the store. There's maybe limited hours. Everyone decided to buy their item and pick it up curbside, right? So that kills brick and mortar businesses that were kind of hoping that they would find those kind of impulse buys. You get in the store and you're like, oh yeah, let me grab this, let me get this stocking stuffer, let me get this item right here, let me get this for the kids, let me get this candy. That eliminated all that potential revenue. So that was a challenge for them, but they recouped some of that revenue by the fact that they have curbside pickup. In addition, I don't know if I have it in this slide right here, but in addition, there was a massive jump in about 200% growth, 200% difference between revenue, between holiday sales in pandemics, in states that were adhering to pandemic restrictions versus those that kind of loosened the restrictions a little bit. So that's so important for you to think about as you're going through your final November plan, your holiday plan. Think about the pandemic restrictions within your state, within your region, and adapt to it, because it's going to be so important for shoppers to know what you can do this season. Next, we also just want to kind of recap our 4 holiday pillars that the top 1% are thinking about, and that is just high level. We did another webinar on this last month for the 4 holiday pillars. I invite you to go to our website, highflydigital.com/webinars. You can see some of our past webinars and see exactly what we're talking about there. Sorry, I'll go back a second. So the 4 pillars, meaning the 4 areas that the e-commerce brand should really be focused on this year to win the holiday season, just from a high level strategy point of view, are number 1, data acquisition. You're going to get a lot of traffic. Make sure you are focused on acquiring, turning that traffic, turning those visitors, turning those ones and zeros into actual data points, right? Into actual email, into an SMS. Because what's going to happen is if you aren't converting that visitor into an actionable data point for your business, you lost out, right? You may as well just kind of especially if you're paying for it, you may as well just say what, throw my money away because I didn't acquire that data point so I can market to them more effectively going forward. So data acquisition should be priority, and you're going to get a lot of visitors this holiday season, right? Every business goes up. A rising tide lifts all ships. The other holiday pillar to consider is convenience, right? It's not just about how fast can I get the item, but convenience comes into play where how easy is it to communicate with you? How convenient can I reach customer service? What is my convenience in terms of returns? 93% of customers will actually shop again if you have a very convenient return policy. So convenience is key. And again, it's not just about how fast can I get my item, it's how convenient can I fulfill my purchase, and how convenient are you communicating with me? It's all in those areas. Omni-channel is another great one where we say, where am I? Like, am I communicating with my customer on all the channels they are, in store, online, offline, chat, chatbots, SMS, Messenger, Instagram DMs, all these are omni-channel. How am I communicating the best way with my customer who is now adept at communicating with me everywhere, right? They'll send customer service questions to your Facebook Messenger, and you may not be prepared to absorb it, right? Your customer service team may be like, oh, I can't handle that. You got to be omni-channel, because that's where the customer prefers to communicate with you. And finally, number 4 is transparency. Be very clear. There is a backlog of fulfillment challenges this year, right? We hear stories about boats being stuck in LA and ports, right? A backlog. We hear the top brands are chartering ships to get their items out to customers. It is a massive challenge right there, right? It is a massive, it's a massive roadblock to a lot of small businesses who may have to be put on the back burner for the top 1% who are trying to do everything they can to get items to their customers. So being transparent is so key. You need to communicate with your customers over and over. Here's where your item is. If you're not going to get it in time for the holidays, well, be transparent, or we're going to give you a gift card instead, or we're going to do this for you instead. Transparency is so key, and customers expect it right now. And that kind of lends into the omni-channel approach as well. So that's the holiday recap right here.